All right, I'm moving into my new shop, and like I haven't moved in yet, obviously. Everything's just kind of scattered around. But I'm going to set up the lathe, and I had some questions on how to get the lathe stable. So I will show you that while I set mine up. So it's a little smaller than the other one, but a lot more light, and I'm not stuck back in the corner. And I'll show you. A friend of mine built that little trolley for me so I could roll it around the lathe. So what I'm going to do is set the lathe up far enough away from the wall that I can come out and get any angle. So I know a lot of people want to see, hollowing and stuff like that. Well, I'll be able to roll that thing around in any direction. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my lathe back up, and I have some sand there to weight it down. I'm going to put it back up on the blocks like I had it in the other shop, and then seal the side back up. I had to open that up and dump it out. But let's go ahead and do that. All right, I just cleaned off all the old stuff that was on there so it'll lay back on there nice and smooth. And I'm just going to use liquid nails. That's what I used before, and it worked great. So just going to stick with that. And I've filled up this gap here pretty good. Try and get it back in, right back in the same holes. And I'm just using self-tapping screws. That's what I had in it before. Then I'll just go ahead and stick my hand out in there and fill up that crack all the way along there just to make sure. Right, because my lathe is pretty light, I want to make sure that the base is nice and heavy, and that's how you eliminate the vibration. So I got 4 bags of sand, and I don't know if they're all gonna fit, but we're gonna try. And then we'll bolt the lathe back on there. And before you didn't notice much vibration on it, so we will. Then I'm gonna screw the legs down to my little risers here, and then bolt those down to the floor as well to try to eliminate any of that. So let's go ahead and dump these in. There we go. So that adds, that was 170 pounds or so. So what I had to do was bolt the stand was for my old lathe. So what I had to do was bolt it to a piece of wood, and then I bolt the piece of wood down. down. I'd have liked to just bolted it right to the stand, but it didn't work out, so this is what I came up with. All right, and I've had a couple of questions about the lathe. I've had it for over a year now and love it. Have not had an issue with it. Everything was great. If I had my choice, I probably wouldn't have put the motor underneath. I would have made these shorter, right down. My old lathe, a lot more lower profile, so I don't think there was as much chance for it to wobble a little bit. I haven't noticed a whole lot, but maybe just a little bit on something big, because it's up a lot higher, the center of gravity is. So that'd be the only thing, but other than that, it's perfect. I haven't had a problem with it. And the tool rest, I had the old one, so I swapped that out. I just wanted a little bit beefier one, and it slid right on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it down now, and that's just 6 screws on each side is what I did with that. All right, I have it all bolted down. It's nice and sturdy, bolted down to the floor and everything. So I'm gonna get a least amount of vibration as possible. And I had one other question, so I'll show you that real quick. And then I want to actually tell you something about the lighting in here. So let me set something up real quick. All right, and then the other question was, how do you clean up, finish the bottom of something like a bowl or a cup like this on the lathe without having to hand sand it all? So after you've parted it off, make something like this. This is just a block of maple, and I put a little non-stick pad on it. I just hot glued it onto there, but kind of make it fit whatever it is you're trying to clean up, like the inside of the bowl. Kind of give it that basic shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can make up a couple of blanks for different sizes, but then you put a non-stick pad on it like that, slide it over, slide your tailstock up. There'll be a small tenon or on the bottom here. Slide it up till it gets centered, and then go ahead and tighten it up just a little bit, and you can go ahead and finish the bottom. And then all you have is just a little teeny nub to clean up when you're done. But that's how you can get that and finish it on the lathe. All right, and then one other thing. All right, and last thing. This is actually room, it's part of the garage. They had converted it into a family room, and so when I moved in, I took that back over, and so I have most of the shop in here, and then some of it has to be out in the garage, but the lighting in here was horrible. So I want to show you. I don't know, but I think the lighting in here is perfect now. I went to Home Depot and talked to the guy for, I don't know, about a half an hour about it, and here's what he recommended, and I want to say thank you very much. They're compact fluorescents, and they're daylight 40R floods. I don't even know if I'm going to need to put any more light in here. It's perfect. It's nice and white. There's no yellowing. So let me know what you think for turning projects. I'll turn my first one here in a few days, and we'll upload it. But I don't know, from where I'm standing, it's pretty good. But other thing, Scott, thank you for the camera dolly. That's awesome. I can roll it around the shop wherever I want, and just lean it right up against the lathe. So thank you very much for that. I'm starting fresh here, other than the lathe. So if anybody has any suggestions on where to put anything or tips, I can't do anything with the floor. It's a concrete floor, so I can't bring anything up like wiring or dust system. But other than that, I got some plywood to put on the walls to hang stuff, because it's just studded walls, and I didn't want to put up a bunch of cork board, I guess, but I don't know what the difference between that and plywood is, but oh well. But yeah, so I'm thinking about putting my sharpener, my grinder and everything right behind the lathe, so I can just turn around, have my tools and everything up against the wall there, and then have my grinder right behind me. But if anybody has any good tips, I would appreciate it. I will make my first project in here in a few days. I'll see you then, and thanks a lot.